I wanted to do a little demo to show you how you could get even more information out of this spreadsheet by creating a visual of some of your data. And I want to focus on these two columns, column G and H, because it appears that you're recording data over time. And what you can do is you can use the graphing capabilities of a spreadsheet to show trends in this data. Now what I'm going to do is first I'm going to sort all of this data, but I'm going to sort it by column G. And what I want to do is I want to sort so that the data increases from, I want to rank these scores from the lowest score to the highest score. And the reason I want to do this is I think it will help to reveal trends in the data that aren't immediately available to you without some sort of a visualization. So in order to sort this data, I'm going to take my cursor and I'm going to click in cell B4, and let me just double check over here and see what's in column A. Okay, the numbers. Okay, we can sort from column A4, and I'm going to select across and down, and I'm only going to select the cells that have data in them. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to sort this data. So I want to sort all of the data by column G. Now what I'm going to do to sort is I'm going to click this data tab right here. Okay, when you open your spreadsheet, it might be opened to the home tool palette. I want to select the data tool palette. And if you look at the data tool palette, you'll see there's a sort option right over here. Normally I actually sort from the menu bar, but I can't capture the menu bar the way I want in this particular demonstration, so I'm sorting from the palette. So once I have the data tab selected and I can come over to the sort, and I can say that I want to do a custom sort. If I just sort according to the options that are available, it's going to sort according to the first column, and it's just going to sort according to increasing numbers, which isn't going to do us any good. But with a custom sort, what we can do is we can choose which column we want to sort by. And so we wanted to sort according to column G. So if I click right inside the field, I can come down and I can select column G. And then when I come over and click OK, it's going to sort all of this data and use column G as the sort. Now just to make sure that everything sorts properly, let's just make a mental note here that Kayla had a 13, a 21, a 66, and a 16. And we'll want to make sure that all of those columns of data go along with the sort. So I click OK, and now we see that Kayla's data has moved to the top, and indeed the 13, the 21, the 66, and the 16 all moved correctly with the data. So now look at column G, and we see that we have column G sorted in ascending order. Okay, so that was the first step. Now we want to try to create a visualization of this data. And in order to do that, we're going to go from the Data tab over to the Charts tab. So I'm going to click the Charts tab, and now we have a charting palette revealed up here. And I'm going to select the first column, the column with the names, and I'm going to hold down the Command key, and I'm going to select columns G and column H, the cells that have data. Now with those three columns selected, I'm going to go up to the chart type, and I'm going to select a line chart. And notice that it says display trends over time. That's what we want to do here. We want to see how these trends vary with time. And I'm going to come down and I'm going to select this line option right here that's a little bit off of the screen. And this is the graph that I get. Now look at this graph, and what it shows is how these people's scores varied with time. And if we look at the Kayla column, I'll tell you one thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to collect, or I hold my cursor on this line and I'm going to say add major grid lines. And what that does is that will show us vertical lines to make it a little easier for us to see. Okay, this first column represents Kayla's scores. The second column represents Matt's scores, then Taylor's scores, Maya's, etc. And notice that because we sorted column G from lowest to highest, that this blue line, which is the line that represents the first column of data, is steadily increasing. But notice what's going on in the second column. We see that people's gains are not equal from the first testing period to the second. Where Kayla made large gains, Matt made very little gain from the first to the second administration. Taylor didn't do too badly. Maya did well. Maya's gain is almost as good as Kayla's gain. Here's Owen, did well, fairly well, but Logan not as well. So what we can do is we can use this visualization to take a quick view, a visual view, to see whether everybody is increasing uniformly. And if they're not increasing uniformly, we can ask ourselves if we can identify other variables that are going on with Matt and with Logan that are interfering with their performance, interfering with their learning gains. So I'd like to try this again with a little bit more data to see how this might play out if you had test scores over the entire school year. And so I created a fictional data set based on the original, and it's on this tab. And what you can see is I've actually changed this column, column J, and added a score here, whereas originally there was just a value in column J. So I've added a score column, and I've created some fictional data. And what we want to do is repeat this process where we sort. And so I'm going to select the people and the data. And then I've got the data tab already selected up here. And I'm going to come down to sort. But remember, we want to do a custom sort because we're going to sort by column G. Okay, we get our sort window. Okay, so I've got column G selected. And I'm going to say OK. And we get the same sort that we did last time. All right, but now what we want to do is we want to chart 4 columns of scores rather than 2 columns of scores. And I'm going to repeat this process. We're going to go over to the Charts tab, and then I'm going to select the cells, the columns that we want to chart. So the names column, then I'm going to hold down the Command key, and then I'm going to select across these 4 columns of data, and we're going to select a line chart again, and that's this selection off to the left here that's only partially visible. And here's what we get the next time. We can expand this chart to see how progress varied over time. And again, if I hold my cursor right on the axis and click, I can add major grid lines just to help us see what's going on here. And we can see what happened with people over time. And we can see that Matt was making gains, but all of a sudden, from the 3rd testing to the 4th testing, nothing happened. And so we might be asking what was going on with Matt that he made no gains. Maybe he was absent for a significant amount of time during that learning period. We can see that the person that was at the highest end made pretty much steady gains the whole way through. The second highest student, Owen, pretty much the same. Logan was making good gains, consistent gains. Now look at Maya though. Maya actually increased from the second testing period to the 3rd, but then dropped off again. Did something go on with Maya that caused this big spurt in the third marking period, and how might we interpret these trends to help us better understand how we could help our students learn. So this is just a little demo on how you can just take data that's in a spreadsheet and turn it into a visualization to help you gain new insights into the information that you already have in your spreadsheet.